In what is a huge milestone, Sporting Chance celebrates 30 years, having established the organisation in 1990. The concept was to create an equal opportunity for everyone to play sport and to promote a healthy and active lifestyle. Sporting Chance has been dedicated to coaching and promoting physical activity throughout this time, with the prime objective to provide opportunities for sporting participation and achievement for as many children as possible, irrespective of race, gender or social class. As it is during the formative years that the foundation for sports playing ability is laid, Sporting Chance has advocated and implemented various programs for coaching school-age children. With firm, structured coaching that strikes a balance between sports, academics and play, Sporting Chance pioneered coaching programs into communities throughout South Africa, where many organizations previously never ventured, has provided opportunities for over 200,000 children, and has developed some of South Africa's most promising sportspeople.
I got 200 Rand from Grandpa AP, and I took that and bought myself an answering machine. I bought myself some letterheads. I bought some cricket balls. I got a bag that I was always using for cricket, and I put that over my shoulder. And on the 1st of September 1990, I registered Sporting Chance, and thereafter what I did was I ran some coaching clinics, and no different to what I was doing at Western Province Cricket. But what the only difference was on a greater scale, and the greater scale there was into communities that had never really had structured coaching before. And that's how it all came about, and 30 years later, I suppose I'm doing the same stuff.
Sporting Chance officially opened its doors on the 1st of September 1990, operating out of Newlands in Cape Town, South Africa. Brad's initial approach was one of servicing the affluent market in the shape of holiday and coaching clinics to fund his passion for identifying and developing talent in the disadvantaged communities. Many soon-to-be international cricket, football and hockey players passed through the coaching clinics, and even a few budding rugby stars.
I suppose if I take it back, it's 30 years now. I was probably a standard 2, they call it, grade, whatever it is now, 4. And I think Brad Bing was still one of the guys I remember quite fondly. Coming to Boston Primary, which, the way I see it is a very privileged background, and yet he was coming out and doing coaching clinics, and particularly cricket. Obviously it's advanced since then, but I remember him. I remember Russell Adams was the name that springs to mind in the Sporting Chance circles, and we always used to look forward to it. I think it was a Wednesday afternoon and sometimes Saturday festivals and sport. I can still remember the Calypso festivals. I think it was out in Muizenberg. I think we used to go out there. So yeah, that's the history from 30 years ago, and then it continued beyond that. When I was in high school and just out of high school, where I was actually coaching for Sporting Chance.
I remember meeting Brad Bing as a youngster at Edgemere Primary School, and we were told that there's this semi-pro coming to our school. He was playing for Claremont in Western Province, and he was a part of the famous Bing cricket family. And he came to come and coach us, and he came with the Brad Bing 101 of how to play cricket, and I must say it was really exciting. He'd bring this cricket bat with him called Percy, and if you didn't adhere to the strict instructions you were given, whether it be if you were batting or bowling, if you didn't stick to it, you'd get to experience Percy on your backside. And so that was enough encouragement for most of us to kind of follow the Brad Bing 101 of how to play cricket.
I used to be a coach at Sporting Chance. I coached football, cricket, and we didn't go into rugby or hockey because we didn't want to sell the parents false dreams. That's not what Sporting Chance does. It's all about sincerity. And I coached for about 6 years probably, from let's say 2007, 2008 into 2013. We used to do Friday clinics, holiday clinics, parties, you name it. We were there. Coach Dalen, I'm here. Yeah, but 30 years, Brad. Well done to you and the team. I wore shirt, especially for you guys. I wanted to celebrate with you, so well done.
One of the first programs put in place by Sporting Chance was Calypso Cricket, which initially started on the beach in Muizenberg, and as it grew in popularity, expanded throughout the South Coast, Eastern Cape, and as far afield as Durban.
I attended the very first Calypso Cricket beach festival, also, which was an unbelievable thing. Did that for the first year, and then the second year I was back as a coach, which was obviously very, very interesting because isiXhosa had just come into sort of schools then, and so as sort of white kind of coaches, we had a very limited Xhosa sort of vocabulary. But awesome just to see thousands of sort of kids down in the buses, obviously pulling in, and just knowing the fun that I had the sort of previous year, and knowing the experience that these children, that these underprivileged children were going to be able to sort of have.
30 years later, Calypso Cricket is still one of Sporting Chance's most popular initiatives. On the back of Calypso's growth and success, Brad knew it was time to branch out into different sporting codes, including rugby, soccer, netball and hockey.
I started running his hockey clinics. We started at Claremont Cricket Club on the grass, and then we moved across to Hartleyvale once Hartleyvale was complete around 1995. And we started running clinics there. I ran them for Brad, and then I started a day and night tournament, and I asked Brad if he was interested in getting involved, and Sporting Chance got involved, and we ran that for about 6 or 7 years at Pinelands North. And when I moved across to Bishops in 2002, I asked him, well, would you like to get involved with an under 12 day night tournament, which 200 children, we pack out the stadium, and it's all under lights and it's exciting. We have about 16 teams from all over the southern suburbs, and Brad got involved. So, I mean, we've been running tournaments together with Sporting Chance for about 24 years now.
As the number of participants in the various coaching programs grew, Brad realized he needed to bring more staff into the organization to assist with coordinating day-to-day Sporting Chance activities, expanding the brand even further, and growing the number of children involved. In Bradlin and Natalie, he found two ideal people to help drive Sporting Chance forward.
Growing up, I always had a passion for sports coaching and development, and I knew that that's the direction that I wanted to go in. When I was younger, I used to see those superstars, rugby, soccer and cricket, and what difference they made to my family, what difference they made to a community, and what massive difference they made to South Africa as a nation. And I wanted to give back, and then I knew that was the direction that I wanted to follow, and so I went to do sports coaching and management. That's the field that I went to. And part of my studies, I needed to do practical hours, and I heard about this organization called Sporting Chance. And in 1999, I went for my first interview, and I got the job working as a coach, and I got placed at various schools doing coaching and running, working at the holiday coaching clinics. And that was from 1999 to 2002. Then at 2002, I got approached to be a coaching manager, and that role was we had to, work with schools, identify and recruit coaches and place coaches at schools. Which was fantastic. But then my passion came got even brought more out when I got approached to be the project manager with the foundation side of Sporting Chance, and that was in 2009. And that really opened my eyes to see how much a difference we can do through sport. And basically during that period, I've had the opportunity to go into lots of communities, communities that have little and really nothing in terms of sports coaching and development, and that's where I could see eyes on what a different sports can do to a child's life and to a community's life, and that's something that I really treasure.
My journey with Sporting Chance started essentially over 20 years ago, when I became a member of the first ever Calypso Cricket Roadshow team. We went from Cape Town to Plate, and it was an amazing experience, and I think you can say then is when the bug really bit. We worked with so many different cultures and communities, and I was able to combine my passion for sport and obviously working with kids and being able to make a difference. From there, I went back to study at varsity, and I was always involved with Sporting Chance. I was coaching quite a lot for us, and obviously Calypso Cricket became a firm fixture in my summer holidays. And then in my last year of varsity, I didn't have a very hectic schedule, so I went to chat to Brad and said, how can I get more involved? And I literally joined the office to answer the telephones. And in that year, we launched a few more projects. Street cricket got bigger to quite a big scale, and obviously Calypso Cricket, now the roadshow was longer. And I guess you can say I never really left. I carried on with working on the foundation post my studies and took on the projects. I Had an amazing few years with various projects with street cricket, with Calypso cricket, and then obviously in 2010 we were able to go to take on the FIFA 2010 World Cup legacy with our street soccer project. And then a few years after 2010, I took on the role of general manager to oversee both our foundation work and the coaching services, which is combining basically being able to work with both the affluent market and in the development space, which was huge passions of mine. I think in those 20 years that I've been part of Sporting Chance's journey, it's probably a good 2/3 of it, and it's been a great privilege and a great honor and something I'm very proud of to be a part of our story. And we often talk about it as a team, about how Sporting Chance is a book, and so many chapters that we've written, and amazing people that have come through into different chapters, both from our coaching services and from our foundation, and we hope to have many more chapters to come.
As Sporting Chance's involvement with more and more kids across the various communities grew, it became apparent to Brad and the team that there were a number of health issues facing the country's youth. With the help of Professor Tim Noakes at the Sports Science Institute, the Health of the Nation program was developed and launched, pioneering research into childhood obesity, which has led to numerous health education policies being implemented throughout South Africa. Health of the Nation assessed more than 10,000 children, and it was from this program that the 50-hour sports challenges were introduced to help combat the various issues in the communities.
The Health of the Nation, that program I liked very much, because that is where we could have identified kids that was obese and all those things. It's almost like they say in Afrikaans, a suikerkaskanade, those years that they used to have. And that was so much fun because it was like an obstacle course. And for the kids to do that, kids are active and they want to do something different. And the Health of the Nation was the most perfect program also for them to participate in every single year.
50-hour sports challenge are wonderful, but how much of an impact are we having? And then that's when Disney came on board, and we then started going into schools and working on a daily basis in schools and finding coaches from our communities, the Bulalanis and the Yanisus and the Barneys and those guys that could go into our communities and actually implement a phys ed program within the schools.
We knew we needed something sustainable in our communities through our physical education program, and hence us finding the right coaches to implement this program. Getting the right coaches is crucial to a program like this, and when we look for our coaches, it's somebody that is vibrant and that has a passion within the community, but also has a passion with working with the kids. I remember when I started coaching, Brad always taught me there's few basic things of with good organization comes good discipline, with good discipline comes good attitude, and those are the type of coaches that we needed to find.
My name is Bulelani Menze. I work for Sporting Chance, and I've been with Sporting Chance since 2006. I'm a sports coordinator at a school in Khayelitsha called Indwasahlobo Primary School. If you look at our school as it is now, when I first came in here, there was no sports and nothing for the kids. So all they did was to come in and go back home, come in, go back home. So now we've got programs that we run after school. We've got programs that we run during school time, and it sort of gave them that discipline to know this is what I'm doing at a certain time, this is where I'm going, instead of going out there in the streets and we all know what happens out there.
So I was approached by Colleen Hodge. She's involved with Langa Hockey Club, basically a player and a coach for Langa Hockey Club. So she approached me and she took me from Langa, and we met up with Brad, and we had a chat about the new program that they were starting out with regards to phys ed at the school, because at the time there was no phys ed being done at the school. So they approached me and they said, look, how about you start for us and let's start this program, a physical education program. So we're basically ready to go to a school, start up a physical education program, and start up sports there in the school. So that's how I started there. It was in 2011 in May. Yeah, and I've been doing that since then. I have my grade 12, and when I went out of school in 2008, I had to stay quite a long time without work. When Sporting Chance approached me, they gave me an opportunity first to do something that I love, to do a job that I love, and they gave me an opportunity to touch kids' lives as well. So from 2011, I've had kids, I've had a family, and I would say, had I not gotten the opportunity to be involved with Sporting Chance and to be involved in this kid's life, I don't know where my life would be.